Amid fears of a war-like situation building up in West Asia between the United States and Iran, the much-anticipated meeting between top aides of both nations kick-started in Oman's capital, Muscat. The meeting happens at a time when US President Donald Trump days ago warned that the theocratic regime in Iran should be worried, and Khamenei warned that a war with US will turn into a regional war.
Can you tell us a little bit about the agenda for tomorrow's talks with the Iranians? What will be the focus of the discussions?
Diplomacy moving forward. The president has obviously been quite clear in his demands of the Iranian regime. Zero nuclear capability is something he's been very explicit about, and he wants to see if a deal can be struck. And while these negotiations are taking place, I would remind the Iranian regime that the president has many options at his disposal, aside from diplomacy, as the commander-in-chief of the most powerful military in the history of the world.
The meeting is also the first following the 12-day war between Iran and Israel alongside the US. It is also the first after the deadly protests that broke out in Iran due to poor economy. Meanwhile, Iranian Foreign Ministry said armed forces will enter their highest level of alert for days as both parties meet in Muscat.
If war breaks out, our currency will weaken further against the dollar. For ordinary people, life will only get harder. That's why we oppose war. A successful negotiation would be the best outcome. War serves no one's interest. That's what I believe.
Iran maintains the talks between Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araqchi and US Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner will only be about nuclear program and nothing else. But on the contrary, US said discussions need to include range of their ballistic missiles, sponsorship of terrorist organizations across the region, and treatment of Iranians in the country. China and Russia, both close allies of Iran, have urged for dialogue to bring peace in the region.
China has maintained communication with all parties on relevant issues and hopes that all parties will resolve differences through dialogue to jointly safeguard regional peace and stability. We welcome the negotiations that have now begun in Oman, and we hope that these negotiations will be productive and that they will allow to de-escalate tensions in the region.
Ahead of the direct talks, Oman mediated indirect talks between Iran and the United States separately over Tehran's nuclear program. Oman's foreign minister separately met the top aides who landed in the capital. Oman's foreign minister has reiterated commitment to continue supporting dialogue between the parties and to working with various partners to reach consensual political solutions that align with the desired goals and aspirations. Iranian foreign minister said the country will defend itself against excessive demands or adventurism by the United States and will take an approach of using diplomacy to secure Iran's national interest, while maintaining full readiness to defend the country's sovereignty and national security against any excessive demands or adventurism. Oman has previously mediated between Iran and the US in nuclear negotiations in 2025. But the negotiation failed after Israel launched a 12-day bombing on Iran. After the meeting, Iran said it was a good start and both sides agreed to continue the talks.
As a whole, I can say it was a good start, but whether we can continue this depends on consultations in the capital and decisions to be made there. There was agreement on continuing the talks, but the time and manner of the talks will be determined after further consultation through Mr. Al-Busaidi, God willing. If other parties continues the current process and keeps the same approach, we can reach a framework for talks and the subjects being discussed over the upcoming meetings.
Washington has been demanding that Iran should give up its persuasion of nuclear program, but Tehran says its nuclear program is meant for civilian purpose and for the interest of the Iranians. Trump's constant threats of beautiful armada being sent towards Iran and dispatch of USS Abraham Lincoln has intensified tensions between the US and Iran, with major global players urging for peace and dialogue. Mashweta Lala, Bureau Report, India Today.